What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget you can listen to our episodes over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just type in Geek Out Room podcast in the search engine and you should find us. And don't forget you can watch our episodes over on our YouTube channel, Sauceless Entertainment. And with that being said, we're talking about Dispatch. Let's do it. So Dispatch is a game that I've been playing lately on my PS5. And starring Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey. If you're familiar with anime, you know Laura Bailey's resume. If you're familiar with Breaking Bad, you know about Aaron Paul. Most people do. And this game is a very pleasant surprise because I'm not going to lie, I forgot this game was coming out. I remember them showing it at the Game Awards, and I just completely forgot about it. And then it came out. I heard a lot about it. Watched like 10 minutes of gameplay online, and then I paused it. And I was like, I need to buy this game and play it for the channel. So I am playing it on the Sauces Entertainment channel. By the time this video comes out, I should have episodes 1 through 3 out, with 4 that's already recorded being posted later in the day. But yeah, this game's amazing, and I think Aaron Paul, first and foremost, does an amazing job as a voice actor in this one. I think that he does a better job here than he did in his recent cameo in Invincible. With that being said, I did not hate his voice acting in Invincible. I just think Robert Kirkman gave him the, hey, we're hiring you to be Aaron Paul for this. I think this character and how like you can tell what scenes from Breaking Bad and El Camino for that matter that Robert Kirkman like said, I need you to replicate that energy for this character. And I think the character in Dispatch, Robert Robertson, requires a different nuance, or it really just it's a character with a completely different character with a completely different story and demeanor to him that requires a more subtle performance, a more dialed in performance than his character on Invincible. So those two different characters, hard to compare the two, but you can tell that he's focused and he's ready to go, and he really delivers some of his best stuff in Dispatch. And Dispatch is basically, without spoiling anything, it's basically a game where you're playing as a character, Robert Robertson, aka Mecha Man, not to get confused with Mega Man. And he has no powers, his suit gets messed up, and so he's approached by a really hot blonde superhero girl, and she offers him a job at SDN, which is one of the biggest superhero dispatch networks in the world. I think it's based in Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken, and or something like that. And while they agree to fix his suit if he goes to work for them as a dispatcher. So basically, he's behind a desk, and he has a team of former villains turned superheroes, and he's having them go dispatching them on missions like break up a fight at a college gang, or protect the CEO from getting assassinated, like stuff like that. And it's a very tamed version of Suicide Squad. It's like, what if Suicide Squad met My Hero Academia, met The Boys, met Invincible? That's what this game kind of feels like in terms of the world. It's not as grim, nearly as grim as Invincible or The Boys so far. Anyway, I'm only at 4 episodes in. We all are only 4 episodes in, but it's still it has its moments, man. It's so weird. It's not like all those shows I mentioned. It's not like it's taking the best from all those shows, but just taking like certain elements and drawing certain inspirations from all those properties and making something really, really fun and beautiful. And I haven't mentioned this already. This is a choice-based game similar to The Walking Dead, similar to The Wolf Among Us. So one of those games where you make decisions, and based on your decisions kind of changes the outcome or changes your relationships with other characters in the game. Okay, and there's a love triangle that I will not say who is involved in it, but there's a love triangle, and that has been super interesting so far to see. And what I like about this game too is how even a lot of these heroes, they're very human underneath all of what they're doing. And these villains turn heroes, these misfits of society who no one cares about and doesn't want to give any chances to, want a chance at redemption. They want a chance to turn things around for themselves and show that they're capable, they're not wasting space, and they all have their different motivations. And I like that. Now, we're only 4 episodes in, but I do hope in the next couple episodes or whatever's left this season that they flesh out more of the characters on the team, because right now I feel like a lot of them are taking a back seat. And I really hope that throughout the season, if there's only one season, I don't know how many seasons, who knows how long this is going to go for, but I do hope they continue to develop these characters and make them matter, because one thing that I really like about choice-based games is that they are allowed, with the time they're given in these type of games, to really flesh out a lot of characters, especially depending on your choices. So I hope they do that going forward. I do feel like some of the characters are taking a huge backseat when they could continue to be getting developed through certain things and certain moments. But besides that, like I said, Eric Paul is delivering a great performance. Laura Bailey's doing her thing. Everyone in the cast is doing an amazing job. I know there's a lot of streamers and comedians in this cast. Not familiar with really any streamers at all. I don't really watch streamers or anything like that. But I know a lot of people are excited. A lot of people love it. So that's dope. And usually when you have all these high profile people, sometimes more often than not, the product can suffer because of it. Because a lot of money goes to them. Not as rightfully so, but not as much as like the animators, or the time can be constrained. All these different things. But you can tell this game was carefully crafted. It's a very loved project, taking a lot of inspiration from a lot of different places, but making it their own. And the decisions so far, the options that you get are pretty cool. I love that this is a adult workplace drama, if you will, in a way. And that's really cool, because we don't get many stories like this. And a very similar thing I can say is like in the East, especially in Japan, where they have like those games where I think Clannad After Story is one, like where you can usually play like a high school student, and you have your love interest, you have your best friends, and you get these choices, and you get these different love routes and all kinds of stuff like that. That's kind of what they're doing here with this choice-based game, but again, as an adult workplace drama, and I really mess with that heavy. I think that adult life and college life are very or especially college life. This is not about college, but those two aspects get really underrated. Like they get kind of pushed aside when it comes to a lot of like TV shows and stuff like that, because of the range that high school students can give opposed to college or young adults. So that's very interesting, and I'm really enjoying this game so far, dude. I forgot about it. Watched 10 minutes of this gameplay, knew I had to get on the sticks immediately for myself and play for the channel, and I just don't regret it. I think that this game shows a lot of promise, and I hope that this game pushes more companies who always want to do choice-based games to do it, because choice-based games are some of my favorite to play. It's super interactive. I mean, all games are, but it's super interactive with the story. The cinematics in here, when they have the moments where you're not picking or choosing or influencing your decisions or other characters, is still really good. The dialogue is really, really snappy between a lot of these characters. They feel like characters, like they feel like their own characters. Don't feel like just waste of like an NPC or something. I also really enjoy the decisions. Something I feel like I haven't heard anyone talk about or praise yet is that when it comes to certain decisions in this game, they don't give the counter. There's not a lot of time to make your choice. Yes, you can read it, pause it, take as long as you need. But what I really enjoy about it is like, there'll be something where it's like, I don't know. It'll be something like, let's say it was like, hey, punch this person. But if you punch this person, and this is me making up because I really don't want to spoil anything. So let's just say you have a character, and the option will be like, punch this character or kiss this character. And you'll have like 5 seconds to decide. But this decision will drastically change the rest of the story. It will drastically change your relationship with this other character or characters. So you have to be really, really concise, or not concise. You have to be really thoughtful of your decision and really know what you want to do. And I think that's awesome, because in real life, there's a lot of moments where you have a couple of seconds, or some things are decided in a split decision, and we don't always get a bunch of time to do what we do. So what I did enjoy about this game so far out of the 4 episodes I've played is that it's, I don't want to say realistic because it's a video game about superheroes and all this stuff, but in certain aspects like that, it is realistic. And a lot of these conversations, a lot of dialogue between a lot of these characters are very human. They feel very realistic. And I think they're shaping up to make Robert Robertson one of the better main characters I've played as in a long time. And I know for a fact a lot of people in 2026 will be cosplaying these characters from Dispatch. If this game came out like 3 months earlier than it did, people will be cosplaying as these characters in Dispatch effective this Halloween. You know, like it's one of those things. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Those are my thoughts on my spoiler-free review of Dispatch. I just think it's an amazing game with great dialogue, really cool options, heroes that are more than meet the eye, characters that are really self-aware, which is very pleasant. And yeah, just a game that is $30 and deserves your attention and love. See you on the next one. Deuces.